You prepare the decorations and candy for the little ghosts and goblins that are going to be showing up at your doorstep this Halloween. You should be aware that there are safety measures that need to be taken from a legal standpoint.
Attorney Jeff Kroll is here to discuss how making the right precautions could save you from a lawsuit. So there's a lot of lawsuits, obviously, during this time of year. You said the number one is dog bites.
Well, I'll go back to that. We were talking a little bit. You know, when you think about this time of the year, Sunday we're changing our clocks because the daylight savings time ends. And there's been this campaign for over 20 years, change your batteries, etc. I think it's a great time right now to do a self-assessment on your own property. And going to the dog bites, it is probably the highest day of the year for dog bite injuries, which is second among kids because of these agitated dogs, parents putting them in goofy costumes. Our dog wearing a skeleton costume as we speak right now. He's 4 pounds. He's mad. So for a trick-or-treater...
And a homeowner's liable, obviously.
Absolutely.
So here's another one that comes to mind. Now, I have a coworker here at the station who just gets into the spirit every Halloween. He does the house up with all kinds of crazy stuff. And then he sits on his porch dressed as a gorilla. And he pretends to be, just a model gorilla. But as soon as the poor little kid jumps up, he jumps up and tries to scare him.
And by coworker, David means himself.
I do not mean myself.
He likes to say coworker.
I have another story. Right.
Like we like to say, take a jury.
I have a friend. No, it's not me, really.
Okay, so what happens?
Anyway, if something happens to one of these kids, for example, he goes, the kid falls and hits their head on something, or...
That's a little far-fetched, but where this...
Are they liable?
I doubt it under that scenario. But what is a larger scenario where there's going to be liability if there's a broken handrail, broken step, somebody goes to reach for a handrail, it's not there, that's where we see a lot of liability. We were talking off air for a second about thinking like a child. For children, the most direct path is a straight line. We'd love, living in the suburbs, we'd love for people to be walking on the sidewalk and not traipsing across our lawn.
Right.
It doesn't happen. On Halloween, they're going from house to house, across the lawn. That's where we see most of the liability because a tree stump has been, a tree's taken out, there's a tree stump, kids are running, they hit the tree stump because it's dark, hose is still out there. I had a case where there was an excavation that there was a big hole, and a young man running from house to house fell and broke his leg and had surgery.
Sure, and that can happen all year round. I mean, but specifically this time of year, you have electric lines running all around the place.
Everywhere.
People, trying to do a nice thing and having a fun time. But that sounds to me like there's a potential for a legal problem with that.
Absolutely, and like you said, your friend with the elaborate. With the elaborate house, that's where you're going to run into problems sometimes.
Yeah, David.
Yeah, just a friend. I kind of respect it.
Wait a minute. So, let's go back to your case. So in the case where you had a client with the felon and broke his leg, so the homeowner was liable for that. How much money did it cost them?
I think it was $275,000. So that's an expensive Halloween for some people. And that's why I'm here today to tell you there's a great opportunity to do a self-assessment of your property. Whether it's starting something simplistic as making sure your lights are working, guard against these holes, the uneven sidewalks. One thing I wouldn't allow people to do is come in your house. It's easy for the suburbs to say, no one's going to enter my house. But in the city, if you live on a 2-flat, 3-flat...
Could I get in trouble because I turned the lights down to try to create a mood and then someone trips on the property?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What? It's Halloween.
It's fun and games for them. It could be a nightmare for you.
Yeah, it sounds like
as the homeowner.
That's it. Am I handing out candy? Nobody's allowed on my property.
My costumes. One in the closet.
There goes the gorilla.
There goes that out. No more fun at the Navarros. Okay, thanks a lot.